There was no vehicle. To go ahead and tell you that, the one lights and the time on the videos are actually wrong. Law enforcement has confirmed that. The one looks like it's running down or something. That was actually the gentleman taking his trash can to the street. He has already admitted to that. There was no vehicle. There was no vehicle.
It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. You know, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th. And there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that.
That we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not, my client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi Dad, I know this is gonna sound weird, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday with all decent clothes? Mom!
Because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday and happy Halloween. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Got a big show for you guys. I still, since it's Halloween and everybody, I'll still try to keep it within an hour and a half tops. So that's kind of why I started early as well. But as always, we are here for this child right here, Sebastian Rogers. Birthday's coming up pretty soon. And before you know it, it'll be 2 years since he went missing. I can't believe it. It's no question. I should say it's no mystery that if you guys saw my show yesterday, I showed some new kind of exclusive footage. Really just consider it new footage, but and yeah, so I've got more footage I've been going over. And yeah, basically it's pretty funny. Just after starting to look through, just at the beginning of what we are getting in, there's something familiar on the night before he went missing that we've never seen before, but it's very familiar. And it's that silver Honda Accord or something close to it driving down the same route. Again, we've seen it on the 26th when he went missing at 3:15. We see it the day after he goes missing at 3:15 a.m. on the 27th. But now, unlike the other team where they claim they had thousands of hours or hundreds of hours, whatever, which I doubt they studied any of it because I'm sure they were just looking for a narrative, in my opinion. Unlike them, I'm going to study every single pixel, and even after I'm done with studying every single second of the footage, if I don't find anything, I'm going to go right back through it until Sebastian is found or those responsible are put behind bars and then law enforcement can take it from there. But again, happy Halloween. Thank you to everybody tuning in. Two main parts of this show. One is going over the couple of screenshots that Fisher had released from Chris Carr's backyard, and I was running it through ChatGPT, which is my new best friend, and got some interesting information, stuff that's not too surprising as we have gone over this before, but with ChatGPT being much more much better, more advanced, I should say, than say Grok, which I mean I love Grok. It's nice and it's simple, it's easy. But obviously ChatGPT is much more advanced. So just to give you a sneak peek, you may think this car looks familiar.
Individual in the room.
And we'll just show it here real quick. And we'll come back over to this. But just to give you a sneak peek. Okay, so there you go. Brand new footage, never seen before. And again, you may notice the time. It is at midnight on the 25th. So that is technically Sunday morning, Saturday evening, how you want to put it, but technically it's Sunday, the 25th. Now, obviously, this is the early morning of before he would go missing. 12 hours later, he would be going to Strike and Spare or grocery shopping, I guess, and so forth, right? But as you'll see here, as I am going through all the footage, and I mean all the footage, what do we have? Here it comes. Oh, did I go forward too much? Oh, I did. I do have it slowed down and zoomed in. We'll go over that as well. But here we go. Does that car look familiar? And again, that is the day before he goes missing. Sunday morning. This car now seen 3 days in a row at this time. Doing the same exact thing, which is really strange. And again, I have my contacts with some of the people in this neighborhood. And after this, they have never seen this car. And of course, people are on the lookout. And there's even stuff that we'll go into that shows that I think law enforcement was looking into this angle. And I'll kind of explain why I think that they were doing. Oh, deception. Oh, with the grocery store. I wouldn't be surprised, Marissa. I would not be surprised. Blessed wife says, "Oh my gosh, the silver sedan we've been heard about, it is back." And I will do overlays and we'll time it. Everything that I did with all the vehicles before. But of course, I was preparing a show for something entirely different. Again, I didn't know I was going to be coming across that, but again, this is from the 26th. This is the 315 one, but again, we'll do some overlays, and yeah, I'm like 99% sure it's the same exact car. And why is it making this trip at that time of night? And believe me when I say that eventually have a good portion of the footage. Because it's no secret, you guys saw kind of what I had yesterday, but trying to be respectful about the people who've sent it to me, and of course the people, of course, because of this homeowner. But kind of fish sticks kind of ruined that when we were trying to be kind of a little bit more discreet about where it was coming from, but then he just shows the entire screen. So that kind of ruined that. But before we hit that and we go over the car, and we'll listen to Fish Sticks explain again about what he believes or claims it was while we examine that. But before we do that, let's go back to what I had prepared earlier. Is Betty in the chat by chance? Oh, she is. Hey, Betty. I did not receive that video. I don't know if you get a chance, you could send it to join the mob crew email.com. I don't know if somebody could put my email in chat. I did not receive it. I looked through my junk email. So I don't know if by chance, if you could, that would be awesome. Trust me, it will go to great use, especially if it's the angle that we're talking about. But yeah, unfortunately, I did not get it. But if you could, that would be so awesome.
In other words, the prophets didn't say nobody's allowed in. That anybody that was law enforcement was allowed in. And
okay, so just a recap from yesterday, and this will kind of fit nicely into the second part of the show, which is going over the now 25th car, the 25th, 26th, and 27th car. If you missed yesterday, I ran this, I ran 26 and 27 through ChatGPT, taking all the different screenshots and everything. Really working on the taillights because that's, the headlights, since they're a lot brighter than the taillights, it's hard to really gauge like the actual kind of headlight casing, whereas the taillights are a little bit, softer red. Obviously, as you can see in this example. So it can tell a little bit better of the shape, even though we have motion blur. That's kind of one of the biggest reasons why you can't
just with the layout of the house, there's no
in the beginning figure out which car, but we were able to, again, through extenuous process, take different stills from the 26th and 27th of this 3 a.m. Kellen car, and
I'm not saying there's any excuse for that.
I'm going to turn him down for a minute, but it came out with Honda Accord, which we talked about, Honda Accord and a Hyundai Sonata, and I think Nissan Altima. Those were the top 3, but it said that the Honda Accord. Sorry, I got so much information. Nope, this one here. Nope, silver vehicle, I think. No, card. Yeah. So, again, just kind of recapping from yesterday, I was able to get one image and have it kind of enhance. And again, we had already gotten really close with the taillights of this vehicle, the casing of the taillights. And then I was able to get a decent image of the rims. And thanks to someone in chat, we got a pinwheel type rim, which, as you can see, compared to the Hyundai Sonata, the Honda Accord matches. So I would say, it's 95% it's a Honda Accord 2002-2016, but always leave a little bit of air for maybe a Hyundai Sonata and or a Nissan Altima. But everything that I ran, it's telling me here, again, this is just kind of recapping yesterday, but that it's most likely the Honda Accord. So that's exciting. Now moving on to this, because I wanted to run, because I ran this through Grok, but now with ChatGPT and knowing how amazing it is, for those that maybe are not familiar with this, when Fish Sticks was working with the Stink Feet coming in late October, November, just after working on the Riley String case, he got buddy with the Stink Feet, and then close to the anniversary, he released an image, and it wasn't this one. It was actually
behind.
Right. So just to clarify really quickly. Okay. So
he released this, and he just put in he tweeted this out saying, look, it's 3:06, kind of interesting time frame, 3:06 and 51 seconds. Such a weird timestamp, right? If you've got the 24-hour footage, why not make it 3:05? Why not make it 3:10? Because, we were kind of saying somewhere between 3 to 3:10 that, this abduction allegedly happened. Why do you got 3:06, 51 seconds? Unless this is a motion activated clip. And then you go on to look at where he blurred at. And that tells me that not only is this, and I ran it through Grok, or not Grok, I'm going to say Grok now, Chat GPT, and, so asked it, what can you tell me about this
from
photo?
what you've seen,
and you're going to see here, not only does it say, yeah, these are definitely most likely motion activated clips, which I know we've kind of talked about before, but this is now, using Grok and getting more data. And there's some interesting info because it has a theory on which item likely had triggered this event. So that's why I'm excited to show this. And then we'll get into the car.
Is there any point at which anybody appears to enter or exit the home from the footage you've seen?
Well, yeah, I mean, keep in mind, it's footage from over a couple days, so yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess the night in question then.
That night, no. Well, they arrived home, and
good to see.
So I will say the one, like I said, they went through and they checked all their footage and they took out what they saw, and they captured what they saw, but what they didn't get, and what they admit they must have just missed, is when they heard that there was footage of Sebastian taking
I got it, Betty. Thank you.
The trash can out. That was news. They were surprised to hear that because they didn't see that. Mm-hmm. And so what the husband told me was, and I was sitting with them at their dinner table. He said, he said, I didn't know if they were being real about that or not. And he's like, I went to the command center and I said, listen, I've given you all my footage and I'm just going to ask you one question. And he's like, but I really need to know this because this is my neighbor. And I just want to know for my own sanity, like, did you really see Sebastian on that footage or not? And they told him absolutely. And so I believe them. I don't think they're
and he's talking to the neighbor that's in front of the stink feet, of course. But I wanted to have fish sticks in the background when I was kind of reading chat, listen to his BS, especially since we got the fish stick and clown emojis going, which is great. Thank you, Mimi. Keep those up. So anyway, back to the images. Again, fish stick releases the obviously. Oh, there we are. This one here, which again, I why would you need to do this if your argument is to say, hey, look, there's nothing going on here. Yet you do this, which tells me, whatever, if there was a motion activated, and this, again, I am 90% sure this is motion activated, and even looking at ChatGPT, running these 3 images, and I can even prove one undoubtedly is for sure a motion activated clip, so most likely the other ones are. And apparently this Nest Google camera, which I believe uses a Ring camera, I think it kind of knows the approximate version. There's like 2 levels. You can have like the regular one, which it'll just record the motion activated clips, or you can have like the Google Plus. It's something else, but something plus. Everything's plus now. And that one records 24-hour and records motion sensor. And it's definitely like possible that they could have had both, but I'm sure Fishstick wouldn't be getting the 24-hour version from Chris Carr. Snooky, thank you so much for becoming a member and supporting this channel. And we've got Gail there, Lady Tamango. Ooh, I like that. Thank you so much for becoming a member and supporting the channel. All right, let's go. Look at those fish stick hats. That's awesome. All right, so let's get to Grok here for a minute and show you guys
the front of the Proudfoot's property. Like,
what did Grok discover here
from the footage you've seen?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know.
Oh, one more thing. As I was explaining, so he released that, the one with the time frame blurred out, and then another YouTuber, I'm sure a lot of you may know, ends with Tree. Apparently, he went live and started showing the unedited images and or clips. I'm assuming images. And yeah, we got to see that, there's some lights on in the home at 3:00 in the morning. Now, again, if you've been following my case, this case, or even my channel, we've gone over this, but wait until what,
find out it's
ChatGPT.
It's footage from over a couple days. So yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess the night in question then.
That night, no. Well, they arrived home, and so I will say the one, like I said, they went through and they checked all their footage and they took out what they saw, and they captured what they saw. But what they didn't get, and what they admit that they must have just missed, is when they heard.
Keep your eye on this, okay? So obviously these are the 3 screenshots. One at the 3, we'll just say 307. This one here. Then we have this one taken here, which has no timestamp, but it is, because we can see the moon, it is approximately around 5 a.m. Which could even be, which is interesting because this could be the motion. Well, actually, no. Actually, I know what caused this motion sensor, but this would be close to the garbage truck coming too. And then we have the other image, this one here, which the sun is coming up. And because I can feed it Grok and or ChatGPT the exact address and the date, and then of course it can tell me pretty much, and we've already figured this out. It's a little. It says between 6 and 6:30, and at 6:30 is when she, or 6:20 she leaves. So this is probably just before she comes driving out, and that's probably what activates, and or because I think she was talking with this neighbor, one of these neighbors, just before she left. So if she was over on this side, that would have been caught as well. So anyway, what did Grok say about this? And then we'll get into the vehicle. So again, I just gave it the 3 images. I told him what date it was, and basically said, what can you tell me? Is this from a 24-hour recording, or is this from basically a what you call event clips or caption motion or motion triggered events? Either one, basically something that is motion activated that triggers a recording and then saves into a file, and yada yada. So I'll read the first summary that I got here. Actually, I'm going to let Grok do it.
Excellent. Let's break this down carefully.
I love
1.
Grok.
Camera type. All 3 frames show Nest in the top right, meaning these are from a Google Nest Cam, most likely an outdoor, indoor, or Nest Cam battery model. These cameras automatically switch between day, color, and infrared, black and white modes depending on available light. 2. Night versus day mode. Image 1.
Yeah, that's
sunset,
huge.
sunrise. This is daytime mode, taken around dawn or dusk. The sky shows natural color, and the image uses visible light. Image 2. Black and white, illuminated porch. This is night vision mode, infrared. The porch light is on.
This is the one that we're
interested
in.
Is
image
uses
2.
its IR LEDs. Image 3. Moon visible grayscale. Also night vision mode. The moonlight provides some natural illumination, but it's still using IR sensors. You can tell from the uniform grayscale tones and lack of color.
Okay. Actually, as much as I love having this read, I just want to get to the point. So I asked it, what does it feel about these images? And it said, yes, these frames are likely from motion triggered events, and of course, and not a continuous 24-hour recording. Nest cams, and here's why. It says Nest cams record captured short clips when detect motion, sound, or significant lighting change. The consistent framing, the slight lighting variations across the three images suggest separate activation events caused by movement, light changes, something crossing the motion zone. If we're in a 24-hour recording, you expect smoother light transitions. And then it talks about each image. And then it gave me, can you give me the address so I can, or more details to kind of, because again, I told the one clip the time. I put 308, really it's 307. But you guys get the picture. And then basically it was able to tell me within a 30-minute difference about, what time the clips were at. Again, which is pretty cool. So anyway, one main thing that I discovered without even using Grok and just looking at these pictures, because I'm just tenacious, is this one here, the second one. And if you guys remember, that is a kitty cat right there, which I have here. Yep. Right there. Actually, this will show a rendition of it. But, of course, this is just AI just kind of making an image of, this isn't like the exact thing. But basically, so we know that the second image that that was leaked out, definitely there's a cat. So this definitely tells you this is a motion activated clip. So now to the meat and potatoes of this, and why I'm going back over this. One is because now I got ChatGPT, but I asked it to read the lighting from the main image, the one that SF was trying to hide from us, and see what it thought about what could have caused the motion, right? And okay, so here, let's see. Yeah. So here I asked the question: is there any way to tell what's causing the motion action? What's causing this, to record? And obviously, it's not hard to get a big giant hint because the guy's not the brightest crayon in the box of where this action event likely happened, right? And if you listen to the interview, we did this before. If you listen to the interview, so the camera that faces the Proudfoot on the other side, right, that allegedly may or may not caught Sebastian taking out the trash, or was it just Katie in a hoodie? You remember that? I forget her name. The one that shared all the details with the that spoke with this neighbor. Let me know in chat. I can't think of her name at the moment. But she interviewed, off camera, obviously. But basically got a ton of information early on about, what her camera captured, because it was the same thing. She also had a Ring camera, and it was also in nighttime mode. And what was capturing stuff pretty much in the nighttime was the lights turning off and on. That's what was triggering it, was the lights from this home. So the kitchen or the living room, or even Sebastian's light kicking on and off, and that was causing the neighbor across the street's camera to record that. Yeah, Sweetie Pilo, thank you. So much going on. Thank you. So, if you think about it, they both have more or less the same camera that does the same thing. Motion activated clips, also likely maybe 24-hour recording. But with the nighttime mode, which now focuses a lot more on the whites and blacks, obviously you got a house that's within 200 feet, and the lighting's, if it's can see it, decent enough, just like this, if they're turning off and on the lights, it's going to record every time it does that. And that's why we got all those timestamps, 9:08, around 10 o'clock. These different timestamps of, the living room, the Sebastian's light turning on and then turning off, and then the kitchen or the living room, one of the two. We got all those. So if you think about it, it's just the same thing. Now we're just looking at the back side of the home, which has basically the same kind of camera, right? So going back to Grok, which was really interesting. Is I asked it what could cause this particular image to be triggered, and it came up with an interesting answer that I didn't even think about, and that is the sudden increase of brightness in one of the frames, and I'll explain which one it's talking about. Now, it's not saying 100%, but it says this is the best plausibility, right? And it goes on to say a sudden increase in brightness in one section of frame, like indoor lights turning on behind a window, registers as movement. Why this is likely a light activation trigger. The reflections contrast change, which would have been strong enough to cause the Nest Cam to start an event clip. And then it also says there's no small animal, there's nothing that appears to be moving, in the clip, like where we have the cat, right? And then this is where it gets really exciting. So I said, can you study the pixels? Basically, study each one of these here. Forget, this is the home across the street. So obviously, this is the home. This is the sky room. I want to say mud room. But yeah, that room there, which obviously attaches to their back living room, and basically it's even on the side of the kitchen, and then of course Katie's bedroom there. We already talked about, oh well, look, her light's on, but what caused this to trigger? And so it says Nest cameras. Let me go to the important part. Oh, it says, so pixel-based motion detection. When a cluster of pixels changes brightness or color rapidly, it assumes motion. And let's see, where does it say? Okay, feature and what we see. The infrared system adjusts automatically, the nighttime mode. Camera reacting to new brightness. And the trigger mechanism. This often happens when someone turns on a lamp or an overhead light inside a visible house. And then it asks me for more information, and it read the color temperature at 7,000 Kelvin, a little higher, and contrast to the background. And where is it? It's coming up. Okay, between 3:08 and the 5:30. So it was looking at these two images here. And it basically said that the color temperature drops drastically. Now it does reflect that obviously now it's a little bit more daytime or pre-dawn. So the ambient light is different. But basically, I don't know if it's up here or down here. Yes. Basically what it says in a nutshell, that possibly a newly activated light that causes camera exposure spiked and triggered the motion event. And basically what it was saying, sorry, I'm just going to get to the meat and potatoes here because I want to get to the car, not go too long, is it believes that this light right here
in the footage.
Could
So they
have
went to the
been
command center.
the one. Again, it could have been any of these lights, but it says this was the most likely candidate. And if you notice, it is quite brighter than the other lights. Again, there could be less obstruction in the window, but it does appear as if, and basically what I was saying with ChatGPT is like when you kick on a light and this gets triggered, it picks it up and it kind of absorbs more light in the beginning because it's getting kicked on, very technical, above my pay grade. Basically, that this captured right as it turned on, and that's what triggered it, and this was the most likely candidate, kind of in a short, if that makes sense. And again, and if you think about Fisher and the way he works, again, with inputting this stupid thing up here, it just tells you, hey, don't look here, please don't look here. And we know that this is most likely image motion activated clip. So there's just more proof, even though just having the lights on and Kitty's bedroom light on, it's big enough at 3 o'clock in the morning. Again, why is your light on? You're supposed to be in bed, right? But I thought that was interesting. I'm still running some more stuff through Grok, but as I was doing that, Fish Sticks Eggs Mob Crew, yeah, he hates when I use AI. Oh God, when I was using Grok, even though what's hilarious is I literally have screenshots, and I don't know where I have them. I have them like a separate folder somewhere. I don't know if you guys remember, he did a report, I think just on the anniversary or just before the anniversary. It's kind of like before or after the Lord Lodge interview. And I don't know if you remember, but he was trying to explain the subject 1 and 2. It was hilarious because he was literally he's reading the color temperatures of subject 1 and 2, and it was literally using Grok. Like you could, because you could tell Grok, right? And I thought that was the funniest damn thing that, here he is using it. And then, he has that meltdown video, which is just hilarious. All right. So as I was doing this and I was trying to get more information, which I'm still going to do, because again, we're building a profile, I got more footage. And we basically started on the 25th, basically. So a lot of footage to go over. And starting at midnight. So I am going through each one starting at midnight. And I've got a lot to go over.
It's set to
it's
auto,
no secret.
Auto mode. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't detecting. So what it was, it lights on their home, right?
But I'm going to go ahead and play this and let Fish Sticks talk for a minute so I can read chat for a minute. And if you're just coming in, please hit that like button. Happy Halloween. New footage here. I really don't care about being the first one to have new footage. I'm really more interested in getting into the truth and doing whatever I can on my end to get answers and put those people responsible that may have harmed Sebastian.
Well, too, just so you guys know. But
behind bars. So as I'm going through, sorry, this video is so short that it's hard to. I do slow it down, and we're gonna examine this. Feeling snarky. Oh, I like it. Oh, I love all the fish stick hats. That's awesome. So I start going through each minute by minute. I wish I could say more, but I believe me, there's other people involved that deserve just as much credit, and I shouldn't even say I get any credit. I just got lucky, and of course I, just like me and many others, and like all of you in chat, want answers. So I'm going through a minute of footage because I'll be damned. I am not going to let this kid just slip through the cracks. And holy shit, here is on February 25th, Sunday morning, 12 hours before he's going to go do his events with KK. This goes by.
To be 100% sure, it sounds like from what you're saying, and I wish. I mean, would you be able to?
And I'm like,
any of that
I'll be damned.
Just for people's minds at ease about it, be like, no, really.
Because I thought I was going to be staring at a lot of nothing for a long time. Because you got to remember, I am literally going through the footage. So if we have 24 hours of footage, technically I'm going through it every second. So I am literally going over 24 hours. I mean, there's going to be parts where I'll be able to fast forward, but just kind of keep in mind, and this is not just me. There's other people that deserve just as the same amount of credit. Minu says, do you think we can put the flashlight in ChatGPT and maybe put the light in it? Which light are you talking about, Minu? I know the flashlight video, but do you know, I don't know if you could be more specific on what light you're talking about. I'm so sorry. Yeah, MS, yeah. But yeah, isn't that wild? Got really lucky for the first 14 minutes. Now, I wouldn't say, I'll be honest, I'm not watching every second. Sometimes I'll kind of skip forward, like kind of fast forward it. So I shouldn't say I'm watching 24 hours of footage, but if it takes that, I will go to that extreme. But anyway, long story short, here's this car at 14 minutes. And I'm like, holy shit. No freaking way. Now, I'm just going to let this play for a minute. I'm going to play all the cars that we have seen on each night. So, and yeah, I should be scratching my own back. There's so many people behind the scenes that deserve just as much credit, if not more. I'm just the lucky fool that came across it, I guess. But anyway, here's all the vehicles. So that was the 25th. That was the car, new footage, never been seen. This is the 26th car, the night he went missing. This is the next day.
Winning anybody's at this point, they truly only, whether people believe it or not, they just want Sebastian found. And so I don't think they're going to give anybody any favors like that. I'll ask, but I wouldn't count on it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would just,
in fact, I know when some of the guys like watching on when that was happening. So, I mean, I'll ask, but I can't. There's got to be some faith in the fact that FBI TBI, and I think they've probably sent this footage. I'm sure they've sent this footage to the FBI crime lab, which any agency is allowed to use for enhancement. And I think because it's an amber.
So what do you think? Does that look like the other car that we just saw on the 25th? And I'll overlap them so we'll see them all and I'll time them and everything. But I'm just showing each one individually. So that was the 26th. Now here comes the 27th, the day after he went missing.
Alert. If there was an image of him, I think they would have released something. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, strategy wise, but I just don't think. I mean, ooh. Well, let me back that up. From that camera, mm-hmm. It's hard because I go back and forth. I don't think that he's caught on that camera at all, but I do. In the last week, I do believe that they have something of him. Listen, I'll be honest with you. We have something from after midnight of a person we can't identify. I don't know if it's him.
Yeah, it took us all about 30 minutes or less. It took one phone call, because when you build trust with, the right people, it's pretty easy to figure out who that person was, but because people knew that Fish Sticks was corrupt and others, you end up looking like an idiot and committing one of the most atrocious, to me, literally, it is the most atrocious thing any person's ever done in a true crime case, in my opinion. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but in my opinion, to fake that you captured Sebastian on, or there's an unknown person hiding behind a car when there was never anything of the sort, and it's a guy just walking his damn dog. It's just disgusting.
I'm not starting to remember, but so I think they might be in the same situation where there might be other cameras that we don't know about.
Can I ask, is this the so-called flashlights video, or is this something else?
This is something else.
Okay, so is it?
So me and you, the flashlight video, I can't. There's just not enough lighting to really enhance it any. I may be able to do something with the original a little bit, just the original still, using ChatGPT. But no, if you think we're gonna see like an actual individual, I promise you no. It's just too dark. I'm sure if that's who I think they are, I'm sure they're probably wearing dark clothing. I don't think people may have maybe even thought that far. Or I mean, not saying anyone hasn't, but something not even think about. But yeah, they're probably wearing dark clothing. So that would even just make them harder. And I think especially with the flashlight, especially coming towards kind of the camera because they're kind of coming at an angle, that is kind of blocking that's just going to cause the camera not to be able to pick stuff right surrounding it at that distance. But yeah, I wish we could. I really wish we could, but I know. You sure, Edward? Yeah, I would say only email me in the next few days if you absolutely have like a Honda Accord or something similar. But right now, I'll be taking tomorrow off and maybe Sunday because I've got a lot to do. But it's all in the name of Sebastian. So, but there was the 27th car. So as you can see, 25th, 26th, 27th. All look like the same car. Pretty interesting, right?
Just an unidentified person walking.
Now we have the 28th. Now check this car out.
Past or through the property?
It's a person but because they're wearing very dark clothing and because the light, it looks like, I don't know if you saw in the Riley Strain case, do you remember like under the bridge when there was people walking by?
Turn him down for a minute. Finally, not the same vehicle, but it's almost exactly on the night that when he went missing. Look at the timestamp, 2:58. The car on the 26th, 2:58 and 50 seconds. Literally just a 30-second difference. Now, this was so 26 would be day one, technically, Monday morning. Tuesday. This is Wednesday morning, so this would be technically day 3, early morning. So there have been 2 days, technically 2 full days since he went missing. I'm pretty sure they had seen what I just showed you guys. This is my opinion. Let me know in chat. And we're going to do a poll here in a little bit. But and I didn't have a chance to put it in, but this vehicle here is believed to be an undercover SUV. It was seen not only on this night, but nights after it doing the same exact thing, and I wonder why. So again, this is 2 days after, well, technically 3 days, but 2 full days. And here they are making a trip, believed to be, maybe FBI, TBI, whatever, but when I ran the vehicle, I forget what it came up. I'll probably use ChatGPT. This is probably not on the higher end of the list, this particular vehicle, because this lines up with the dark SUV that a neighbor even put out on Facebook, which I've shown you guys before, where they said, yeah, there's this vehicle that's coming up, killing and going down Devon Court, doing a U-turn in the cul-de-sac and coming back down. And again, this just happened to just be after we had seen that 3 a.m. vehicle on the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. So I think this is them retracing what this vehicle is doing, maybe trying to get an idea, maybe even filming, from inside the vehicle, trying to see, what is this vehicle, what were they doing? This more, to me, reinforces that that this vehicle on Kellen likely had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance. And I do think the 25th, clearly the night before he went missing, was a trial run. And CC undercover. CC. Oh, yeah, it's something for the 3M Lights video, because she actually went to the home, I guess. I haven't seen it yet, but she actually recorded some footage, which then I can properly overlay, because, I've done a lot of overlays, but to do like an actual realistic one, I would need the original footage or someone that was, very close to the same height as the camera and the angle far away. And apparently she did that. And I just recently heard about it. So, yeah, I was trying to get that from her yesterday. I think she thought she had sent it yesterday. But anyway, I got it. I got the email. Anyway, not to get distracted. Okay. So I'm going to put it in chat, and we're going to listen to Fish Sticks here. And I'm going to pull the chat as we do. But we're going to look at all the vehicles, and I can tell you there's one thing that the car does on the 25th that the 26th and 27th doesn't do. It's just minute, but I'll show you guys all the differences and more or less similarities between the three days, which is, again, to me, is the biggest thing. Crisis King, been following a while since start of Delphi. Oh, that holy cow! I have missed a lot in the past few weeks, as you do. I really hope there's accountability in the end. I'm proud of your hard work you do. Oh my gosh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, God bless. That's awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And again, happy Halloween for those that are just coming in that celebrate it. And yeah, so we're going over this. I want to do a poll. Because we're going to list the fish sticks, try to rationalize this vehicle. And I'm just curious what people think. Actually, I'm just going to let this play for a minute while I type this out, so I'm not stalling.
Any of them stop by the Proudfoot house? Did any of them linger in the neighborhood? Like, was there any suspicious activity?
No, they didn't. So, the Uber, the only reason that I showed the Uber clearly, well, there was a couple reasons to show that. One, that it's been known about the Uber was there for a long time. And I think even the gentleman who got the Uber to go to the airport had.
So if you don't know what he's talking about, on the night he went missing, there was 2 vehicles, more or less, unless you want to count the garbage truck. But between like midnight and 4 a.m., on Kellen from this camera and the other camera that this neighbor has that face both directions of Kellen. There's only 2 cars. There is a DoorDash driver at 3:30, but a half hour before that, which is when we think the 3M light happened, there was a car at 2:58, which we just showed a little bit earlier. Comes up Kellen, does a quick U-turn, and you'll notice the timing that it was 2:59 and 33 seconds as it was coming back down. It'd be about 30 seconds by the time it reaches Stafford and Kellen, which would have been 3:30 on the dot, or excuse me, 3 a.m. on the dot. And again, remember, these people are Navy, and yeah. So let me keep playing this.
I put it on Facebook in the first day or two that he's like, oh, I had an Uber come at 3:30 in the morning. So that had been known.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
a neighbor.
Not a neighbor. It was somebody in the neighborhood. It was somebody on Kellen.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't afraid to put that out. However, the other vehicle, which I can listen. I know nobody wants to take my word for it, but I can promise you, the car is not foreign to the neighborhood. It's known, and they are not. That's not known. If that person, I know people would try to find out who that is and whatnot, and they go after them. And this person, quite honestly, this person probably has no idea that people are trying to figure out what car that is and stuff. And it has nothing to do with anything. Unfortunately, keep in mind.
So this is him explaining the 226 car at 258. Which again, here he's going to explain and just fumble through all this. But here's the 25th, slowed down, new footage again. This is the night before he went missing. Right at 12, almost 12:15. It's so weird. All these vehicles, either it is on the hour or right on the 15-minute mark. Is that kind of weird? Like almost exactly, right? And I'll show you all the times when we get done, so you can see all the times and compare them. But this vehicle, which appears 3 times, 3 different nights, before the night he went missing and after the night he went missing. This one's just about to hit the 15-minute mark. The 27th was at 3:15. And then the night he went missing was 3 a.m. On the dot. It's kind of interesting,
We want to find the clue, so it's disappointing to us as well when none of these things are connecting.
So you say that this vehicle is not foreign to the neighborhood. Are you then saying that the vehicle is commonly in the neighborhood but is not owned by someone in the neighborhood?
That'd be fair to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this?
Think of it like.
Do you know who the owner? Who the owner of the vehicle is?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You were saying something. I don't want to cut you off.
Think of it as like there's daily like people that come in Ubers and stuff like that, or Amazon deliveries or whatever it may be. It's
Amazon.
You have.
It's the Amazon driver. Oh my God, he got lost. Oh no, he got so lost. He got lost up in the rolling hills there in Hendersonville. Poor Amazon driver. Man, he working late. I hope he's getting paid overtime, or he or she. My God, it's got to be tough. I don't know how many packages they could be delivering. I do know that I think I've seen sometimes Amazon use like a smaller vehicle for like special deliveries. I think I've seen that. Maybe people know in the chat maybe work for Amazon, but for the most part, I think we've pretty are aware of Amazon. We see it everywhere, even though now they're getting a huge layoff, which is crazy. But anyway, not to get sidetracked, but man, I feel bad for that Amazon driver out there, man. It's It's a tough life. All right. Not sure. Oh shoot. Okay, so I put a poll. Be honest, what you guys think. Now DoorDash, the argument there. Only thing open after midnight is a BP gas station, and I think one other thing that's within, because it has to be within a certain amount of miles, whatever. And yeah, that's the only thing. There's no fast food. I think the latest is McDonald's midnight, or probably a lot of those fast food joints. But yeah, after midnight, and this comes from somebody who did DoorDash or Uber Eats in this particular area. So I have spoken to a great source that knows what's available out, and when and where. So keep that in mind. The DoorDash and Uber is. Then remember, I don't think he says it here. I don't know. Maybe he does. He also said, well, it's a family member or friend, a boyfriend dropping off a girlfriend or something like that. Teens, I would give, if it wasn't nefarious, I would say family member or friend would be the only other choice. I would give like a 2% chance. Everything else, construction guy showing up 8 hours before his work shift, or 5 hours, I guess it depends which night you want to look at, is absolutely stupid. Oh, old lady. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? The undercover was her? Why would she be? I don't think so. Why would she be driving? Remember, I mean, yeah, I don't know why would she be driving down that neighborhood on day 3? Not really, like just after day 2. I mean, people are just barely starting, because remember, we were still kind of covering Riley Strain. Like, his kind of story was kind of, I mean, people still kind of were starting to cover it, but remember, Riley Strain was just finishing the peak, because remember, he just found his body just around the time he went missing. I forget the date that his body was found. I don't know if someone can remind me in chat. Yeah, I think that's BS. Absolute BS. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Come for clue. Yeah, unless maybe she said it wrong, or no, that's nonsense.
The same type of.
Okay, so we're gonna listen to Fish Sticks explain what kind of driver this was, and as he goes through every category, right? You would think if he knew the driver, he'd be able to say, yeah, it's a family member, friend, or yeah, it's Uber Eats driver. But no, he goes through all the categories you can think of, which just tells you he's full of shit.
Owned by someone in the neighborhood?
That'd be fair to say.
Okay,
yeah.
Is this?
Think of it like.
Do you know who the owner? Do you know who the owner of the vehicle is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not.
Think of it as like, there's daily, like people that come in Ubers and stuff like that, or Amazon deliveries or whatever it may be. But you have this. You have the same type of person for the neighborhood, so it's a known person, but not necessarily a resident.
So is this somebody with any known connection to the Proudfoot family?
No.
Okay, so not a family member, not a friend. All right, so I guess that's.
Yeah.
Is this somebody?
Keep in mind, there's a construction site next door. There's a lot of work going on. And I know that it's a weird time of morning, but there's still.
That right there just tells you, like, before he made it, again, he sounded like an absolute idiot, but then when he goes to the construction work site, then you just know he's absolutely talking out his ass. I know we've talked about this before, but because we're showing the car, and we're going to examine the cars even deeper. I'm just showing you all the cars in order, and I'm going to show you guys what this car does here. Because I do think, after we listen to Fish Sticks embarrass himself a little bit more, I'll explain what I think is going on.
Things that there's still workers and whatnot. It's not a worker from the construction area. It's I don't want to say, it's hard to say. It's a person that is in that neighborhood, in and out, several times a week, and it's a known person, and it's there's nothing, absolutely zero to it whatsoever. Nefarious.
All right. So I mean, is there regarding the night?
God, could you not sound more guilty and just absolute idiot? Oh my gosh, how embarrassing! How embarrassing! Get those fish stick hats out there, guys. Gosh. So we're gonna go over all the times.
Is there anything else you think is relevant to bring up?
I think
so. Just because again, I got this footage because again I'm going through it and I'm working on other stuff as well. I think I've seen that one, Resin Mama. I'm pretty sure because I do recall when I started covering the cars, people mentioned silvers. I am pretty sure. Yeah, I know. Construction worker at 3 a.m., but it's not construction worker, Oh my God. Anyway. All right. So now here are the cars so you can kind of see them. So we have the 25th, which is the new one. I love this. This is great. Oh, look at his wonderful hat. Yeah, that's what a clown. I think he has like a truck or something. He has a truck. All right, so the 25th is the new one that we captured today, which was the night before he went missing. I think, so it's starting to kind of go into theory here, and we'll kind of look at the voting as well. I think this was two reasons. I think they were checking, this was a dry run. And right now we only have, I don't want to say too much, but we only have a certain amount of days, right? But who knows what happened before or after these particular days? Who knows what may have happened on the 24th or a week before that. But I think this is not only a dry run, but I do think this is not only checking for maybe cameras, I think checking for lighting, and the main one is checking Wi-Fi signals. And let me know what you guys think in chat. I think they're scanning for Wi-Fi. Because that should also pick up the cameras as well, I'd assume. I don't know. This is what I need to go ask ChatGPT. Like, if you're driving around with maybe your phone or a particular device that's looking out for Wi-Fi, what can you pick up and what kind of details, especially if it's, something that you can hack. But here are the cars. So as you can see, the 25th, the 26th. Now, of course, the zoom's kind of slightly different, so it kind of may looks like it. This one's a little bit more zoomed in. But as you can see, same body type, same LED lights, headlights, and of course, this is the one that the night he went missing. But for the most part, they look identical. Speed's about the same. Then we have the 25th again, matching up with the day after. Now, I know that there's like this light on the bottom. I think when a car comes back, it doesn't have that. So I'm not sure. I'm going to ask ChatGPT because everything else matches with the 26 and 27. We matched them up. We overlaid them. If you guys remember, we did that show. Yeah, I agree, April. Happy Halloween, Kitty. But yeah, so don't be too deterred by that. Everything else, like the tail lights and body type, pretty much the same.
He had said at some point that he's seen the full footage from that
So here's me overlaying the night before he went missing and the night he went missing. If I would have had more time, I would have, because they're both not quite going the same exact speed. And sometimes one car is going a little bit faster and starts to slow down before the other one does. Even though it's probably the same car, but it's 2 different days. So it makes it hard, even if I start them up, lined up, overlaid perfectly, one's going to drift off. But as you can see, even though this isn't the best overlay because I just didn't have enough time, but as you can see, pretty much, in my opinion, the same car. Now, there's one difference that the 25th car does that the 26th and 27th don't do, which I also find very interesting. On the 25th, so above is the 26th, the night he disappeared. The 25th, so not to make it confusing, the 26th and the 27th, this car goes down Devon. Center, that is a great question, and I am going to get that. That is on my list. It's not the top of my list, but yeah, I do want to try to get the speed as well. But the 26th and the 27th go down Devoncourt and then do which appears to do it like goes down Devon and then backs up, or they circle around. But either way, they go down Devon and then come back around in Kellen. The 26th and 27th do that. The 25th, this car that we found today, actually just does a 3-point, or a 3-point. So I used to say 3-point. Just does a U-turn. Yeah. A U-turn. There we go. We can get it out. Just does a U-turn on Kellen. So U-turn here, whereas the 26, you can see the body go up. Here you can see the lighting shine and you can see the car come back. But here you can actually see the vehicle. If I zoomed in, if you're on your phone, I do apologize. But notice this one comes back sooner. Or this one takes a little bit longer. So that's the only difference. And here's the 26 and 27. As you can see, they're timed almost exactly. I mean, I could probably overlay this, probably clean this up. They literally do the Devoncourt. Whereas here's the 25th. Here's it repeating. You can see the tail lights very clearly with both of them. Where this one, you see, this looks like tail lights, but it's actually just the light turning around. And I do apologize. I just didn't have a lot of time because I just discovered this car, so it's much more to do. But as you can see, they all behave more or less the same. Let me put it here so I can read chat. But pretty interesting. Yeah, so I think it's Wi-Fi, and I also find it interesting that remember Fish Sticks, not Fish Sticks, Crispy got so upset when people were asking about vehicles and Wi-Fi, right? And whenever he's freaking out about something or doesn't want you to look into, tells me that's something that we need to look into. And so I think this was definitely not only maybe a dry run, maybe to scout, but to also check the Wi-Fi, maybe even try to jam video footage. So it's a pretty big win. We got 200 votes, a little over 200, 83%. I think it's some kind of a possible abduction or this car is nefarious. 9% not sure. 5% neighbor. We had maybe one vote say DoorDash or Uber. But oh yeah,
it's hard because I go back and forth. I don't think that he's caught on that camera at all.
I may have seen that vehicle, but maybe because I can get in touch with Silvers and ask him if anybody has the actual like a screenshot of the car and they want to send it to me. That would be great. But I'll keep that noted.
I'm not starting to remember, but so I think they might be in the same situation where there might be other cameras that we don't know about.
Can I ask, is this
right.
a so-called flashlights video, or is this something else?
This is something else.
Okay, so is it?
Resin Mama says, I think driver on picking up cameras.
Yeah, it's a person that, but because
Wi-Fi before Sebastian went missing, and then days after trying to make it out look like the 26 vehicle was nothing but just a one-off. I could see that as well. Didn't I? Oh no, it got erased. Oh, dang it. Really? It did. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, so here's what the difference between all the times of the three vehicles, 25th, 26th, 27th. I'll just let it play. So the 25th, and this makes sense. The 25th car, and again, look at the time. I find this very interesting, and I've already mentioned this, but look how it's almost 12:15. And then on the 27th, it's 3:15 a.m. It's kind of interesting. The 25th car from point A to point B, so basically from the start of when it comes into the screen, and then when it's, basically when it's here, when it's coming, and then basically when it's there, when it's coming back. So a point A, point B reference. The 25th car takes 30 seconds to go up, do a U-turn, come back down, which the 26th and the 27th do not do. Which is interesting. They spent a little bit more time up here. The 26th car takes 40 seconds to complete it going up Devon. And yeah, you can actually see the taillights where it went down there. You can actually see the vehicle going down Devon. And then you can actually see a vehicle. So I think it does a U. It might be a 3-point turn, but it might just be a quick turn in the cul-de-sac. So that vehicle took 40 seconds from point A to point B. And then the 27th, which did the same thing as the vehicle on the 26th, the night he went missing, it took 43 seconds. So both the night on the 26th and 27th, which both did a 3-point, or definitely went down Devon Court, basically it took just 40 seconds, with Tuesday taking 3 seconds longer. So that kind of makes sense with the 25th not doing the drive up Devon and just doing a U-turn. So kind of interesting. But one more time, here are just the cars all together. And I'm going to read chat here. If you missed it, we have pretty much identified the car. I will add this into Chat GPT just to make sure this is the same car as the others. I'm like 90% sure it is. Oh, I do have the times. Wait, how did I miss this? I must have been talking. Yeah, here they are. So here's all the times. That's so weird. It must have just popped up fast. So there's all the times for each car. and the actual timestamps. So yeah. Oh yeah, I bet follows this case day one. My grandson heart ached for Seth. I knew they had done something. I knew it. Yeah. Good to see officer, camera placement, scanning, jammers, dry run, as to route and plan. Yep, trial run. Yep. It's not seeing this vehicle, Christ. Again, on the 28th, we see the undercover SUV on the 28th, which tells me they probably saw this footage, in my opinion, and noticed this car keep showing up at least 2 times at 3 a.m., more or less, and then the night before he went missing at midnight. And maybe that was a reason why I went at midnight, is because I kind of wanted to change up the routine maybe a little bit. Who knows? You think the 27th car is different? So I know the headlight looks different. But when we ran it, I did do like a perfect overlay. I don't know if you saw that one, Nero, when we just had the 26th and 27th, because and it lined up perfectly. So I don't know, what are the odds a same kind of model of car that's got like the same exact tail lights. The tail lights, I know the headlights look like doubled up on the 26th or 27th, but the tail lights are, I mean, they are an exact match. I want to say like 90% match. So, and when the headlight's coming back on the 27th, it doesn't have that double headlight thing. So I don't know. Again, I'm not a car guy. Maybe I could, again, that's something I'll have to run through ChatGPT. But for those that have been with me and remember, I did an overlay of because we just had the 26 and 27, and I overlaid them at the same exact speed. And I mean, other than just having that extra little light, they mirrored each other, especially the tail lights. I mean, the body and everything. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's it. That could be it. The fog lights. Sure. That could be it, Michelle. Oh, that's awesome. Obviously I'm more of a visual channel, so but I appreciate that. That's awesome. But yeah, gosh darn it, I went much longer than I wanted to. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of exciting, because there's just more, another piece to the puzzle. And what does it mean, right? And this is only the beginning, believe me, guys. We've got some great people behind the scenes doing some amazing stuff. And like I said, eventually I'm going to get all these different notes put together with Grok, the best stuff, best arguments, put it in a Twitter thread. And then maybe myself, I'll send it to the law enforcement as well. But we're going to, as a team, as a group ourselves here, do a Twitter thread. I'll post all this stuff, just, the meat and potatoes, 3M lights, Grok, ChatGPT, arguments, and all the stuff that you've seen for the last week or so. And then tag TBI and, of course, FBI. And then have people try to push it. What if the reenactment from Clue is actually the dry run? I don't know. If it was a dry run, it'd have to be before, wouldn't it? Unless I'm missing what you're trying to say, me and you. Yeah. Mama says, Chris, would any of the neighbors be able to give you full footage? Well, as you can see, and if you were here yesterday, I think you were here yesterday, I think you may have the answer to that question. Now, I don't have all the cameras, but I've certainly got enough to work with for right now. And like I said, this is why it's so crazy is here I am starting the first 15 minutes of the 25th, and lo and behold, here's this car pop up, right? Just like not expecting. I'm expecting it to just be kind of, nothing going on. And then, oh wow, that car looks familiar. So yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. If you were here yesterday and today, that should answer a part of it. Yes. I'll get too technical. And again, if you guys know how tenacious I am, I will be examining every pixel and getting to the bottom of this. All right, guys. Input the candy put on the bowl. Input the candy put on a bowl with a note. Help yourself. Laugh out loud. Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned silvers. I think I've seen that, but if anybody wants to send me the picture of that, again, I'm trying not to ask too many people to send me stuff because I am in the process of working on a lot. That's why I'm not going to be here tomorrow, and maybe Sunday. We'll have to see. Give my mods a break. But anyway, I'm going to finish up. There's so much more I want to go over, but I even went longer than it. Time flies. But yeah, I mean, again, this is very interesting. And if you missed it earlier, we pretty much believe this is a Honda Accord 2016, 2017, likely silver. The next two possibilities would be a Hyundai Sonata around the same year and or a Nissan Altima, I believe, still around in that 2014 to 2017-ish realm. But it's pretty 90% sure that it's a Honda Accord. So, but yeah, I'm sure in a couple days we may have some more interesting stuff to go over. But a huge shout out to my mods modding on Halloween, and of course everybody in here on Halloween. Taking time out of your night, day, morning, wherever you're at, to watch the show. But I just can't. I wish I could say more, but as I say every day, good things are happening. Just trust me, good things are happening. That's all I can say. And then look at a perfect example. Look at Michael Vaughn, Monkey. If you're familiar with that case, 4 years? They still haven't found his body, sadly. But finally in arrest 4 years later. Never give up, right? Never give up. Karma will come for these mother effers. And I cannot wait to be there. We're going to have front row seats to when the carpet gets pulled underneath, out beneath them. And I cannot be. We will be there with popcorn in hand, coffee, soda, whatever you want to bring. And watch the domino effect happen, because I guarantee you, not only will there be, if and when there'll be arrests, but I'm gonna, there's gonna be certain creators, I don't want to do cancel culture or anything, but there's a couple of creators that need to be called out because of what they've allowed things to happen, and I cannot wait to be there for that and provide the receipts. So. Yeah, a lot of people Charlene, there you go. Got all these wins. There you go, right? It just takes time. Yep. It'll happen. Got faith in you, Mobcraft. I thank you, Nero. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Snooky. Again, I wish I could shout everybody out, but it's Halloween and I've got so much work. And so I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to take a break. Got stuff behind the scenes I got to do. But I appreciate the love and support. Mods, Jennifer, Sassy D, Pocahontas. Oh, I can't go any update further, but Sensei, as always, forget somebody. But thank you to my wonderful mods. Members, thank you so much. Patreons, thank you so much. I did put out a recent video for Patreons and members. It's the enhanced audio of the other call with Heather and Chris Proudfoot, the real nasty one. But I did enhance Katie's part. Can't hear a lot, but there are some things that when you enhance, it's kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah. Happy Halloween. God bless you guys. Much love, and we will see you guys Sunday or Monday. Obviously, if you're part of my Facebook group, you'll get notifications as well there. But I'll let you guys know. Usually by 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time is about the time I usually put up a post. So, oh shoot, I hit the wrong day. Oh, thank you guys. All right, much love.